Live Conversations, the radio show, is dedicated to empowering its listeners spiritually, emotionally, socially, and financially. The radio show provides the platform for the stimulation of thoughts, conversations, and ways of being that allow listeners to explore and examine what it is they believe and decide whether what they believe is keeping them stuck and disempowered or empowering them to live their best life.
You are listening to Life Conversations with Life Coach Ade on LifeConversationRadio.com.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, good day to you wherever you may be right this very moment. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you're listening live or the archive or podcast or through Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you're listening through, thank you, Facebook. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making the time and the space for yourself, for us to share and shift in consciousness. You are tuned into LifeConversationsRadio.com, where change begins. So brace yourself, because you are going to change in consciousness. Your consciousness is going to shift. Can you take it? Can you deal with it? Let's see. Yes, Life Conversations with Life Coach Ade every Monday to Thursday, 12 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Let's take a breath. Let's breathe in the breath of life, the breath of God, the breath of love that we are. Today's topic is, how much is yourself worth? If you were to sell yourself, how much is it worth? Get a play on words there. How much is yourself worth? Well, this is what Wayne Dyer said about self-worth. Because you may be pondering, maybe I shouldn't say what Dyer said here. Let me play with that a little bit more. Yeah, how much is your self-worth? Are you cheap? Is your self-worth, is yourself? Can I get yourself from the dollar store? Is yourself a buy one, get one free? Or are you a mailing rebate kind of self? Or maybe you have a designer prize. Which one is it? Generally, most of us like to, generally. I'm talking about generally speaking. That's a nice switch too. Sometimes it's important to generalize to make a point, and then we got to get specific. Sometimes, generally speaking, we all say, I'm a designer prize. But when we put ourselves out there, when we interact with people, when we're in a relationship with folks, what do? We act like we are buy one, get one free. Sometimes we act like we're from a dollar store. The dime a dozen. I want you to just feel and sense what's coming up for you. How real? Does this resonate with you or not? Maybe sometimes. Maybe other times it doesn't. Maybe it depends on what you're doing. Well, this is what Wayne Dyer said about self-worth. He said, self-worth comes from one thing. Just one. If you're some of my friends on Facebook, you already know what I'm about to say, but if you don't know, I'm just going to build it up. I'm going to dramatize it. I'm going to sell you the sizzle. One thing. Self-worth. Sound like a preacher. One thing. I'm telling you, church, self-worth comes from one thing. Do you know what that is? Maybe. Let me tell you what it is. Wayne Dyer said, and I agree, thinking that you are worthy. Huh? Yes, just thinking that you are worthy. That's it. That is it. If you buy a brand new car and it breaks down as soon as you drive up from the dealership, you're shocked. You're mad. Like, what? This is impossible. Because you believe you should not have any problems from that car. Maybe another 2 years at least. Maybe 5, but maybe 2 years that you should never have a problem. And you even ensure that you don't have a problem. You cover, you get a warranty. Like, no, there's no way this car should be breaking down. However, if you buy your car from the buy here, pay here folks, and they charge you like 30% interest or something like that, and you drive off the lot and it breaks down, the first thought might be, I knew it. I knew it. Oh. But it's all about how we think about ourselves. Because self-worth is simply the appraisal of yourself. How much do you think you're worth? Not what your parents say you're worth, not what your lovers say you're worth, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friend, the person you're kicking it with, not your best friend, not your co-workers. How much do you think you are worth? Not just say you're worth. How much do you think you're worth? When you're by yourself, when there's no distractions, or when you daydream, or you get caught up in your own self fully, do you get a sense of, I am valuable. I am important. I make a difference. Or do you just feel like your life is just moving so fast, time is running by, you're missing out on life, you don't know why you're here, you don't know what your purpose is? Or maybe you just find yourself trying to prove a point. So you've given an impression that you know what your purpose is, you're deep, you're powerful, you're this, you're that, and blah, blah, blah. And you know what needs to happen in politics and what needs to happen across the world and what we need to have peace, and that's what needs to happen. And if people listen to you, then the world will get on, there'll be a better place. But then when you're in that place, when you are just with yourself, do you feel that strong about yourself? Can you be in a place where you're doing nothing, where you are alone and not feel lonely? Because when you're alone, it's the best place to be. You are all one with the one. A-L-O-N-E. So just add another L. A-L-L-O-N-E. When you're alone, you are all one with the one. So we need to stop being afraid of being alone. Now, loneliness is another thing. Loneliness is really about, oh gosh, I need somebody to make me feel one, feel whole. Then you can do whatever work you need to do. But valuing yourself, seeing your own value, knowing that you are of value, it's about you thinking and believing that you are worthy. And to convince ourselves that we're worthy, because we live in this dualistic world, even though we are one with the whole. We live in the realm of spirituality and the realm of humanity. But we must remember that our essence, our true self, is spirit. So when you start believing that you're not valuable, that you are not worthy, then you're not only degrading the external self, you're saying that the Creator made a mistake. That there is a part of creation that is not perfect. That there's something wrong with a part of creation. Or, not even part of it, there's something wrong with creation. Because if you're not valuable, then what's the point? So if you don't see your worth, it's hard to see it in other people. And you can't even see your worth in God. Because if you don't see your worth, you will believe that the universe, God, Jesus, whatever, Buddha, love, intelligence, treats you the same way, that you are not worthy. So your prayer, your asking comes from a place of, God, if you could find it in your heart to bless me, I will be grateful. And God is like, oh, you're already blessed. Wake up and smell the coffee, smell the roses.
Life Conversations Radio. Be the change you want to see.